folks closed the doors year ago.
Welcome back. Sheed and Tyler, as presented by Underdog Fantasy. I ain't want to stop the rhymes.
Didn't want to stop the flow.
That is Sheed. I'm Tyler. We got the homie Bonzi Wells rocking with us through the playoffs.
Yes, sir.
We got Shawn rocking with us on the bathroom cam.
Indubitably.
And if you want to join in on the NBA action with Underdog and us, sign up and use code SHEED. Underdog will give you up to $250 in bonus cash.
Hashtag Bonzi 150.
That's not true. And a special pick.
Let's throw that number out there.
And a special pick. Also, you can get audio versions every episode of Sheed and Tyler. Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah.
How we feeling, boys?
Hey, I'm very glad to be here.
Prince Hakeem.
I'm happy to be here. I still feel hungover from that loss to the sweep, but I'm happy to be here. Still a little hungover.
Since
But
you
y'all
brought it
got
up,
the win. Y'all got the win with the beach volleyball the other day. So.
No, I'm happy to be here. Happy to be here.
we got more Pacers questions. Like, since you brought it up,
I knew it was coming.
Oh.
I knew it was
I
coming.
mean, yeah,
You
might
brought
as
it
well
up.
just jump right in.
Tyrese Halliburton, is he good? No.
Yeah, that's haters.
The conference finals is back tonight. What does Minnesota need to do to stay alive? And we close with some fan questions, as always, on Thursday. But first, we starting with some pick'em. I didn't put this first, but Bonzi went 3-0 yesterday.
You know, I just want to thank my parents for raising me right.
No, go ahead.
That's just it. You know, I want to thank God first of all. Thank my parents. I just want to thank myself for always absorbing knowledge of the game, understanding the analytics of the game. So I just want to thank myself as well for going 3-0.
She nodded 1-2. 1-2 yesterday.
1 and 2. What was the 3-0? What was the question? You remember?
Asia Wilson went higher. That's the one we all got. Breanna Stewart went lower in her points, and Ryan Howard went lower. They both won their games, but lower. You ain't say the sunshine on a dog's ass twice when you went 3-0. You see what I'm saying? Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, Anthony Edwards.
What are you trying to say there, Tyler?
I'm the dog's ass, but he not the dog's ass. That's what I'm trying
Even
to
the
do.
blind squirrel finds a nut every now
Wow.
and then.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Feel
You know
better.
what I'm saying?
I do.
Feel better.
I do.
This is a form of bullying. That y'all doing. This is a form of it.
Believe
Hey,
works.
call HR.
Yeah, this is a form of bullying.
HR up in this
Man,
piece.
golly.
Anthony Edwards, higher, lower, 28.5 points. He's gone lower 6 of the last 7, but 29 points in the last game they played. So 28.5 points, Anthony Edwards. Mr. Expert, you want to go first?
No, I feel like I do better when you go first. I can't. I feel like you're trying to use that reverse psychology.
no.
You're trying to.
Okay.
The Jedi mind trick.
Yeah, so I have the discretion to let you go first.
Okay. I will go higher. Ant's talking big game by getting back to game 6.
Yeah.
Pressure's on Dallas to close out. Figured something out, I feel like, or conserved his energy better. I'll go higher than 28.5 points.
No, I'll go higher just for the simple fact that he knows it's do or die. Like, he going to empty both of them clips. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm going to go down, what do you say? All y'all going to fuck down. You know what I'm saying? He going to hit the Nino Brown on him. You know what I'm saying?
No.
But he got to empty both clips tonight. So, yeah, I'm going to say higher. I'm going to say higher than that 28.5. But he got to do it. He got to do it.
I disagree, homeboy.
I disagree,
homeboy. I disagree. I'm going lower. Honestly, I really want to say something clever, but it's really just because y'all went higher. But you know, honestly, he could come out and have a good game, but he could be pressing a little bit, and he could come out and have a bad shooting night. So that's why I got to go lower. And Derek, and what's his name? Derek Jones.
Derek Jones.
He might do a good job on him tonight and stay with him, but he could be pressing a little bit and could have a bad night.
So you're going lower.
I'm going lower.
Okay. Kyrie Irving, 2.5 3-pointers made. He's gone higher in 2 of 4 games this series. 2.5 3-pointers made for Kyrie.
I'm going higher. I feel like Kyrie just want to get it over with. He value rest as an older player. I think he get it. I expect him to be uber aggressive tonight. Uber aggressive. So he's over for sure.
Okay. 2.5 3-pointers, higher or lower?
I'm going to say higher. He's going to be floating in the moccasins. You know what I'm saying? Leaving no footprints out there on the court. But I think Luka is going to be more of the main attention, the star of the show, and like with that swing, I think Kyrie gonna get it for the simple fact he just gonna be a victim of the swing, and you gotta automatically put that up right away. So yeah, I say higher than 2.5.
I have to go lower, just because like off GP. But I'll say, I think he's gonna be looking to attack more, close him out. They'll be looking to play him off the 3-point line. He's going to run into the mid-range where he can finish, and around the bucket where we know
That's
we can
where
finish.
he's more dangerous.
Yeah,
So,
definitely where he's dangerous.
It's like I'm, on the defense, it's like, shit, pick your poison. Like, fuck, his midi is tough.
Pretty much,
You know what I'm saying? Like, and he get to the cup, like, shit, do I get it? Shoot the three, nigga. Shoot the three. Right. Shoot the three.
So, yeah, I'll go lower for that reason.
Okay.
Jaden Hardy. Higher or lower, 6 points. He's done it in three straight games, only once before in the previous 8. 6 points for Jaden Hardy. You want to go first on this one?
I thought that was your man's.
It is,
Wow, I can't tell.
but it's a tricky.
God,
Tough out here, boy.
Man, I can't tell.
But no,
like
it's,
Man, he
it's,
got the name of his daddy, his aunties, his first
it's
cousins.
a tricky situation.
Wow.
Being as though I
Hey,
think
fake
if
love,
it's-
man. That fake love.
Straight up to your face.
Yeah. Oh man,
If it's a
man, I
close
know his daddy.
game, I'm not sure how much burn he
his
gonna
mama.
get. You know what I'm saying? If they keep it close like it's been, like where it's neither team has bigger than anything like a 4 or 6 point lead, I'm not sure if J Kidd trusting him that much to be in there like that. But I think if Dallas, if they do get like a 10 or 12 point lead, then I think he'll get in there. But long story short, I'm gonna go higher just because that's my young boy. I'm gonna go higher.
Okay.
But I'm hoping he get in there. And, if he gets in there, that means Dallas is doing good. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got all cylinders going. And boom, he coming in, bringing that spark.
6 points. Jaden Hardy, higher.
I mean, I just think his role is different now since Tim Hardaway is not playing, is not in the rotation. So they kind of moved him in the rotation a little bit. So he's going to get minutes, and and if I know good teams, they're going to try to make sure the ball finds him because he's probably not proven, hasn't. You want the ball out of Luka and Kyrie's hands, so they're going to be over rotating to get it to him. So I can totally see him having another double digit game. So I'm gonna go higher.
I gotta go higher too. I want to go lower, but 6 feels like too low.
Yeah.
He just came off double digits. I feel like you said, they kind of have grown expected, like that spark. Now the Hardaway's not really playing.
Yeah.
So I think he'll get the run and the opportunity. So I'll go higher there.
Crazy, you met him before too, when he's a young boy back in the day in Detroit.
Man, please, you had to think about going higher and lower. 6
Y'all was at
points.
the family reunion.
Yeah, she named everybody in his family and was thinking about. Forget it.
We got a bonus pick 'em, but you got to get it promo code SHEED before tip off at 8:30. Luka Doncic, higher or lower, half a point. I'll go first. Higher.
That's not real.
You got to get it by 8:30.
What's the max you can? I'm saying, what's the max you can put on that guy?
Stack on that.
You
bitch.
gotta. I would say you get that, and you only gotta hit one other pick, and we just gave you 3 winners, so half a point. You think you can do it?
I don't know, man.
Back against the wall. They got to close out tonight. Can he score 1 point?
I don't know, man. He's been struggling. I know he's been at 30-something a night, but he can have a bad night.
That's a tough one.
I feel like they're gonna key in on him.
I think they might send all 5 dudes at him.
Just double teaming the whole game.
Was quintuple team.
So of course
He's that
that's
good.
higher.
He's still gonna go. He's still gonna get at least one.
He just need one free throw to drop. That's it.
I got
But you
high.
got to get by 8:30. Promo code SHEED.
Hashtag Bonzi.
Yeah.
Seriously, man, we got to get a promo code for me, man. This is getting ridiculous.
You've
It's
been
really
hearing
getting-
it.
Who do I need to talk to in management? I need to talk to somebody. It's getting ridiculous.
HR.
What's
It's gonna be a long list of things.
our guy's
to
name? I
say.
can't think of his name. It starts with a T. We got to call him.
Tom.
Yeah.
We have a game tonight, Game 5, Minnesota, Dallas. It's in Minneapolis. Derek Lively, game time decision. They said he was at shoot-around this morning.
Great sign.
So, feels like he may play. What do we expect from Dallas adjustment-wise coming off the loss?
I mean, I personally think they're fine. I think just last game the energy wasn't there. It just wasn't. They thought probably was going to be easy. They didn't have that pop. So I totally, if I know Jay Kidd, I know they staff. They've been making adjustments all year. I totally expect him to address it. Make sure his guys come out ready. I know somebody's gonna give a powerful Nuke Rockney speech. Get them guys. Come on, man, fellas. This, you know what I'm saying. So I totally expect that in the locker room, especially they got some vets in there and some guys on their staff that's played the game as well, is in these boys' ear, trying to amp them up like we would do if we was on the staff. So I totally expect them to come out, play their same way, same style, continue to play like they're playing, and get it done because Minnesota hit some big shots down the stretch. Ant did some, some otherworldly type stuff to get them that win. But I think Dallas is just a better team right now.
Yeah, if Lively do come back, then yeah, it's a wrap because now it goes back to giving Dallas that 1-2 punch with him and Gafford down there. And I think for the time that they have played together, it's been pretty well. I think there might be more in a plus than in a negative. So yeah, I think Dallas. He definitely on the floor. They're closing it out tonight, and I think as Bonzi was saying before, that pressure with Luka, like he's gonna feel that pressure tonight. Like, look, this is my first time I can go to the NBA Finals. This, as he was a young kid over there in his homeland, and this might have been one of the things he was dreaming about. So now he got this is the one game that's standing between him and that.
Yeah.
So it's like, look, I got to do it. I got to get it done.
Home game for Minnesota, how much will that help them or hurt them, since y'all been lying to me about home court advantage?
I mean, it's going to help. I mean, because obviously it's going to help. I mean, because the city is turned up. Come on, they got a team that didn't anybody expect them. Other than them in the Western Conference Finals. We down 0-3. They showed some life. They're going to be in there turned up. It's going to be crazy. I totally expect KG and all them guys to be at the game to kind of, it's just going to be insane in there, and it's going to be another level of energy. And I think them young boys are going to show up. It's going to be a great game. I'm not picking them yet. I mean, I kind of lean towards Dallas a little bit, but I just know, when your back's against the wall, I know them boys got some fighters. They got some fighters, and I think Anthony Edwards is going to lead the charge and get them boys going. So it's going to be a great game. So I got to marinate on who I think I'm going to win before I pick. Or did we already pick them? We didn't pick them yet, right? Yeah, I'm going to marinate on it because it's going to be a really good game.
You know who you want to win? Like, are we expecting a close game? All 4 games of the series decided by single digits, and 3 of them by 5 points or less. So we figure we getting a close one, right? Either way.
With Minnesota being home, the crowd is going. That's their shot of adrenaline. At times, you got to feed off of that. If they feed off of that, but it's been back and forth. I think what's the largest lead so far in that series?
That
one team has had.
Probably not a big one.
Yeah.
Again, all these. If they finish close at least.
So, no, I'm gonna pick now. I'm gonna go with Dallas with this one. Again, if Lively plays, I think it could be over because that puts Dallas at a different defensive magnitude opposing to where they were, that last game because they really could have used him that last game. You know what I'm saying? I'm not taking nothing away from the player Gafford, what he did.
For
sure. I'm pretty sure he was sitting over there with the Brian McKnight. I could have got that one. Damn, I should have been playing.
Yeah.
Why couldn't I be playing? He gonna come with the shoulda, woulda, couldas. But if you play tonight, it's over.
You're saying Dallas wins if Lively plays. If he does not play, does that change? Like you go Minnesota in that case?
No, I'm gonna still go with Dallas. It's just gonna be tougher.
Okay.
It's just gonna be tougher. You know what I'm saying? Because you are at someone else's house. It's harder to close it out on that road. We've experienced that shit before, so it'll just be tougher. But if Lively come, I'm telling you, it'll be a little bit easier because now, if I'm on either side of the floor, I could just funnel my guy towards that big. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he had me back there, like, all right, he gonna play defense, but if the guy get by him, I ain't too worried because I know that she back there, he gonna step up or whatever the case may be. So I think he makes it a lot easier for them. Just the way that it all goes.
Since you're still thinking through it, what does Dallas have to do to win?
I mean, now that I thought about it, I I think since Minnesota been watching their friends of the program,
Yes.
they've been watching and we gave them the recipe. I think they might go ahead and get it tonight.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, what do they have to do to win?
I mean, it's just their energy. They got to come out and show energy. They got to go off the crowd. They got to hit big shots, and if they can jump on them early and get out to a big lead and kind of just get it, not in cruise control, but just kind of, keep it even from then on out, I think it'll be fine because obviously everybody makes runs, but they got to jump on this team. They got to give them no life because if you let them just kind of stay around, now it becomes like a flip of the coin, obviously. But you want to really jump on this team and don't give them no life and get them to thinking, we're looking forward to getting back to Dallas for Game 6, back to their sanctuary. But I think, Minnesota has to use that crowd and that energy to their advantage tonight to get this win. I think they will.
Yeah, because if they keep it close like we've seen, Luka and Kyrie, they're too good at closing.
Mm-hmm.
They're too good at finishing plays in a way that Minnesota just doesn't have that experience,
Yeah, 100%,
those reps
100%.
yet. So, yeah, jumping on them early, keeping that crowd in it would definitely be major.
Yeah.
What would you say Dallas's key to win? He said lively. What do you think if Dallas does win?
Their key to winning. I mean, I'm always going to say P.J. Washington. I mean, obviously,
He was quiet last game.
Last game he didn't play as well as we expected him to play. Like I said, we know what the Stars are going to do. We expect that from them. They haven't let us down so far for the most part. But, you need those auxiliary guys. No disrespect to them, but, when you're a role player, you got to play your role. And sometimes you got to play, higher than your role on some days. You know what I'm saying? You got to do at least your role or better every single game. And I think if we're looking for him to get us between, 12 and 15 a night to complement our guys, now you got to pump that up to maybe getting a dub on this road, maybe getting 25. You might have to be that guy to offset because you never know. One of them guys, Kyrie or Luka, could have a bad shooting night, but then you got to offset it. So if Kyrie have 13, you might have to have that 25, you know what I'm saying, to kind of balance it out.
Those shots he
got to hit. Yeah, so it's always going to be P.J. Washington for me.
To be that third scorer.
Yeah.
He's been for them. Yeah. I see you saying that.
Yeah.
What do you think Minnesota? I know you think Dallas wins, but what would Minnesota have to do?
I'm gonna stick with the same X factor we've been saying the whole time Minnesota been in the playoffs. It's Cat. If Cat comes out there aggressive, stay out of foul trouble, stop doing the dumbass fouls. You know what I'm saying? You got it's the point. You got to save those joints, dog. You know what I'm saying? If it's like, all right, I got 6. Out of that 6, I can do 2. I could do 2 fouls where it's like, say, if it's an automatic blow by, he might blow by you or blow by me, and it's like, all right, I might be reaching boom, I'm not giving them the easy bucket, so all right, I might do that. You got 2 fouls like that, but the other 4, it gotta be legit straight up joints. You gotta be playing defense on there. It can't be no dumbass fouls with you being fucking 60 feet away from the basket and you trying to be motherfucking Bo Outlaw, the one-man pressing machine.
Then looking surprised after they call you for it.
What? Like, no, fool. You got to say them dumbass fouls. So if he say them dumbass fouls, he can stay on the floor. But also with you being on that floor, you got to be productive.
100%.
You can't just sit there and just watch and be a fan and have the best seat in the house.
Yeah.
Watching Ant-Man do his thing and, watching everybody else do that. Like, no, I got to get in this show. I got to get my role. Let me put my tap dance shoes on so I can go ahead and be part of this motherfucking show right here tonight. So it's for me, for Minnesota, if they do win, Cat will have a good game, but I don't think they're going to get it tonight.
Now, you said earlier, Sheed, that the Thunder are probably the only team that lost last round but could still look at this season as a success looking back. You feel that applies to Minnesota? If they say they do lose tonight, could they still look back and be like, this season was a success?
Pacers too now. Come on now.
We got Pacers questions.
Don't disrespect us like that.
Don't you fret.
Not as much. Not as much. And I say that because, you have more veterans on that team. So, you know what I'm saying?
On this Minnesota team.
The more, when you're in about the middle of your career, if you have a 16, 17-year career, at about year 8 through 11, maybe 12, that's when you trying to get your chip. You know what I'm saying? If you're on a good team, if you're lucky enough to be on a good team.
Yeah.
But that's when you trying to get your chip. Them last few years, you like, shit, I'm just going and coast this thing out. You know what I'm saying? Hit that cruise control button. And, in the beginning of your career, that's when you're trying to make the player that you want to become.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be tough for them, cause it's gonna be tough. And I think that with them, they are a young team, but no, I can still see OKC looking at it more as, having that positive season, opposing to Minnesota saying, I think Minnesota will be, if they lose, Minnesota will be more like, damn, we almost had it. We was there. We was almost there. Opposing to, shit, all right, we know what we got to do.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a big difference.
Yeah.
You feel the same? You feel like Minnesota could look back at this year as a success or nah?
Oh, 100%. I mean, even them going into training camp, everybody going to say we want to win the championship and all that stuff, but nobody thought they were. I don't think in Minnesota, sees camp at the beginning of the season, game 1, thought they would be first and second in the West all year long.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They've been first, second, and third all year long. Who would have really thought that? I mean, but obviously going into training camp, you're going to be optimistic. But you got to look at it as success. You know what I'm saying? You were jockeying top 3 all year long. You make it to the Western Conference Finals. You beat the defending world champions on the road, coming back. Man, you got so much to build on. So even if you lose, you know what I'm saying, you ain't got your head down. People,
No.
man, everybody, whenever they see, if they lose tonight, whenever Ant or Cat or anybody on Minnesota's team go, everybody's gonna show them love. Man, y'all played great, y'all did this and that. Nobody gonna be mad at them and all that stuff because, you know what I'm saying, they playing and as a young squad, they're playing way above expectations. Now next year, we're gonna be like, all right, now the expectations is different. Now we done seen what y'all can do. All right, now let's see if y'all can get over that hurdle. Y'all set the bar. You know, even us with like in Indiana. All right, now y'all got there. Now what we gonna do next year? If you lose in the first round, now we looking at you crazy.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a bust. So yeah, definitely. I mean, they have nothing to put their head down about.
Did a poll in chat. 53% says Dallas wins tonight. They think close it out, but 47% think Minnesota.
It's about 50-50.
Keep it going. Yeah, very
Give
close.
or take. Give or take.
Very close. JJ Redick. It seemed like we've talked about him before. It was like he may be a candidate. Now it seems like he's probably going to be the Lakers' next head coach. Seems like he's filling out his staff potentially. Rajon Rondo among the names mentioned. Does he seem like the right guy to coach this team?
That's what Brian wants. That's what Brian get.
So does this mean LeBron stays? Because again, Rich Paul just said he was a free agent.
Brian, LA can't afford to let him go. They really can't afford to let him go.
No.
Because let's just say they do. They don't have that megastar as we all know the Lakers have, for having back in the day. They won't have that megastar no more.
Yeah.
And I'm not calling AD chop suey, you know what I'm saying? He's a perennial all-star himself, but not to that magnitude of Bron or another big megastar.
Yeah. I mean, I'm happy for him. It's another one of our NBA brothers given a chance to be the head coach of an NBA franchise. That's huge because we all as players, we would love that job. So no matter, I mean, other than this crazy dude, but no matter how you get it, no matter how people feel about it, you know what I'm saying? He's an NBA player. He's a part of this fraternity, and he's getting himself a shot. They're giving him a shot. We've seen it happen before. We've seen guys who probably never coached in college or anything or never on nobody's staff.
Yeah.
Steve Nash, Derek Fisher, Steve Kerr, Jason Kidd, guys.
Chauncey. Yeah. The Chauncey or whatever. So we've seen
Chauncey
it.
was on
That's
T.
right.
Lue's staff.
That's right. He was on T. Lue's staff. I'm sorry. He was on T. Lue. My fault, Chauncey.
Glenn Rivers, head coach with that.
Yeah, so we've seen people do this before. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's okay. You know what I'm saying? And it's cool that you hear names like Rondo and other NBA guys that he think gonna put on his staff to kind of fill it out. I mean, I'm not mad at it at all because JJ Redick is very knowledgeable about the game. I watch him a lot on TV. I don't know him personally. I never played with him. I don't know what type of dude he is in real life, but you know what I'm saying? He can't be no worse than some of these other guys. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna get critiqued either way. Either he win a championship, and if he don't, they're gonna be really hard on him. They're gonna make him feel like he's the worst person in the world because they're gonna talk bad about him. They're gonna bring up how he got the job and all that crazy stuff. But if he go win a championship, they're gonna be like, man, we made the best decision, the right guy.
We knew all along.
You know what I mean? We knew all along. So this is gonna be one of those narratives by the time it's over with. But I'm just happy to see one of our NBA brothers give opportunity.
Well, if he do get it, I just know that we're gonna have some more fans in the state of California. And when I say we, I mean the University of North Carolina. We'll have more fans.
You said you wouldn't want the Lakers job.
Oh, no. Not as no rookie coach. Because, see, here's the thing. Yeah, as Bonzi said, it's giving another player a chance, cool, but damn, you got to be ready for it, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, granted, yeah, I'm pretty sure that, he's going to call Coach K and, get as much advice as he can about game situations from Coach K, which is the smart thing to do, duh. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But on the flip side of it, it's like, yo, first of all, you got to get the respect of that team. You know what I'm saying? And the way that most of these young guys, they don't, they look at your body of work, opposing to you being, I'm right here in your face every day, you know what I'm saying? But they still going to look at your body of work that you did in college or when you played in the league or something, be like, oh, man, I ain't listening to this motherfucker, man. He wasn't shit or this or that, da-da-da. Like, and it's how it is. So, if he gets the respect of the players, it could be one thing, but I don't. It's tough because, man, that's a huge market. You know what I'm saying? The Lakers is one of the, original teams that when people think of the NBA, you're going to think of them as well. Yeah. Everybody loves Kobe and that whole Laker mystique behind it, yo. Yeah. And just think of all the coaches that they've had, that was high caliber who won championships, if not there, in other places. So it's man, that's a motherfucking hot ass seat to sit in from the door, yo. Like
for your first gig.
Your first gig, you know what I'm saying? Hey, go high school, go college, or you know what I'm saying, go, you know what I'm saying, D3, D2, NAIA, something. Like, let me get some games up under my belt. Let me know some different situations that I'm gonna come across, opposing to being on the biggest fucking stage. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, I think he can do it. Because you know why? And I wish one of them dudes on the team would side-eye him because he got the biggest bodyguard in the league. He got Bron. That's Bron's guy. You know what I'm saying? That's Bron's guy.
So you think it means Bron definitely stays?
100% because, man, they're going to be playing the game, podcasting after. You know what I'm saying? But they got a good relationship, so why would he leave? You know what I'm saying? Obviously, that's his guy. You don't see Bron podcasting a lot. I mean, I know he has an HBO special, but we don't see him podcasting a lot. And for him to do a joint podcast with J.J. Redick and now – all of a sudden, he's the head coach, the number one candidate for the Lakers jobs. He never coached before. So I think Bron is going to protect him at all costs.
But he can, but that's not going to sit well with a lot of cats on the team.
And that's fine. And we'll get him up out of there in my Bron voice. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Bron, if you don't like it, you got to move. Like,
okay, then, shit, Lakers ain't going to playoffs.
But I'm just saying, in the mindset is you got to think, everybody looking at Bron like Bron can get us to a championship. And that's true in most cases. Bron has been great in making runs and getting himself a chance. So,
but he ain't do it by himself. It's been that coach
at that
as
level.
well.
I'm just saying, though, but Bron is going to come in dead serious this year. Like, bro, I don't got that much time left. I can't be playing around. If you're not with what we're trying to do, you got to move around. You know what I'm saying? You got to move around. Because I don't got no time. We ain't got no time for, you know what I'm saying? We ain't got no time for this disconnection.
We have to hit the ground.
We gotta go for a championship.
I get what
now.
you're saying, but the disconnection is already there because motherfuckers ain't asked me for my input on the coach if I'm AD.
Who? AD probably cool with it. So that doesn't Rich Paul have all those guys?
I mean, still, but that don't.
He don't have all of them.
That don't make it.
But I'm talking about, don't he got AD?
But that don't make it cool with him though, just because they all under the same tree.
Trust me, they done talked about it.
But that don't make it cool that they under the same tree. They could talk about it all day. If you and I, we in business together, right? Mm-hmm. And no matter, even if it does do well for our business, with this one deal, I might not like it, but you like, yo, it's going to do well, this and our numbers, all right, then I'm going to go along with it. But for the sake of how it is, it's going to be half-hearted.
But you got to understand, if that was real and AD didn't like it, we would hear AD talking about he want to get traded up out of there. We haven't heard one disgruntled.
He might not hate it that much.
No, I'm just saying we ain't heard one disgruntled word out of his camp.
It's been a long summer, not yet.
I'm just saying though, but if we do start hearing that chirping, he wasn't going with the plan. But the plan is if they bring in Redick, Bron's kind of running the team. Like, you know what I'm saying? Bron, like he always runs teams. It is what it is. Your star players runs the team anyway. You know what I'm saying? I got to learn that a little bit when I was in Houston, and I was first time I got around like T-Mac. You know, when you got them super mega stars, they can, you know what I'm saying? Like,
but
you was good.
Look at the coaches.
But you know what I'm saying about
in order to win a chip, that plays a part of it. Because no matter how great the player is, at some point, you know what I'm saying, that coach is going to come up with a couple key plays or a couple key stops or whatever the case may be, from his knowledge, from his experience. It's like, man, we seen it. Just like when we motherfucking played L.A. with Phil Jackson and Dunleavy. We knew who had the coaching advantage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, that's what made it extra harder on us. And that's what I'm saying out there with, they play San Antonio. It comes down, let's say it comes down to a play or two, a game situation, you know. Whatever the fucking situation is, he ain't never been in there before to come and draw something up right there on the fly. You know what I'm saying? Other than a player, and more than half of the time, just because it worked for you as a player, don't mean it's going to work as a coach.
Man, listen, this is 2024. They ain't drawing plays no more. They're going to pull up that iPad.
Well,
Hey.
same.
And
For
drag
sure.
the-
Same
yeah.
Run
thing.
that play they just ran right there. That's what JJ Redick going to have 3 veteran coaches behind him where he going to have at least 10 to 15 plays already in his mind and down and ready
That
for
is
those
cool.
scenarios.
That's cool. At the end of the, he's going to have to be the one to do them plays, though. He's going to get blamed for that play.
But he has kind of like an out. This is his first year.
No, that's not an out.
Well,
no, see,
because if you're saying if you're trying to win the championship
No, I'm just saying
immediately,
no.
yourself.
No, I'm just saying he always gonna have an out. Always this first year. He messed it up, but this is his first year.
But-
if he did good,
So,
they're gonna be like, we told
okay,
you so.
so if that's the case, if Brian I gotta win it now, why come with a rookie coach? Why not go get that veteran coach? Then?
Because that's his guy. Brian done had every type of coach in the history of coaches in this game since he been playing. He done did it all. He done had every coach.
player, coach, vet.
Now if you can really get a
old,
homeboy and be like, man, let me get him now. Man, come on, man. He done had every coach.
Do we think he wouldn't get Redick out of there? And I say that because he brought his homie Dwayne Wade into Cleveland, and it wasn't working out, and he got him traded out. So if Redick wasn't working, would he?
Yeah.
How much time would he give him?
I think he's gonna ride out his career with Redick. I think Brian has a couple.
Then he ain't got no chance to win it.
Brian got 2 or 3 years left, maybe more. I don't know, but I think he got at least 2 or 3 strong ones left. You know, and I think in this situation, having a guy like JJ Redick who is a friend of his system of life and a friend of his, I think he's gonna be fine because he don't, you know, now you ain't gotta do no guesswork now. Now this is your guy. Y'all can talk. Y'all can talk it out. What's going on? This is what I want to do. This is the personnel stuff I want to do. Go send it upstairs if he ain't already talking to upstairs. You know what I'm saying? Like this is Brian's franchise right now.
True that. But Brian is not that same Brian we all thinking he is, though. Brian is older. You know,
Man, he
he's
just
slowing
averaged
down.
26, 7, and 8.
He did, but he used to be
True.
an automatic finals appearance for 8 straight years, and now
He's
it's
not
Well,
that
listen,
same athlete.
it's not a
no more.
knock. It's
If
just
Brian
20,
then
but,
wouldn't have
yeah.
ran into that monster, that King Kong called Denver, we would be talking about them
Well,
right now.
I mean, you sound like Brian McKnight.
No, I'm just saying, but Brian does a great job, and we got to keep it real. They manage these games. They take their time when we getting a good shot. They don't turn the ball over a lot. I mean, the thing is with Lakers, they just make or miss. If they make it,
So let me ask you this:
they ain't beating themselves.
if they wasn't listening to an experienced coach who won as a coach and as a player before JJ Redick got there, right? What would make those other guys on the team listen to this rookie coach?
The non-LeBron,
The
AD guys.
non
Guys
guy
3
who
through
hasn't coached
12.
not even the AAU game or
Yeah.
nothing. Like, what would make me listen to him?
I mean,
If I didn't listen to, and I'm talking about you can even go with the Lakers' last few coaches. You know what I'm saying? But D-Ham and before D-Ham, who was it?
Frank Vogel.
Vogel. And okay, if them cats didn't listen to them two, what would make me listen to this cat who's a rookie coach?
you gotta understand, and you know how this go. You know, it just take one person, one key person, to spark the flame. When we're away from the team, we out kicking it, we having dinner, we drinking or whatever, we just kicking it, and one of us saying like, man, Coach Ham don't know what the hell he doing, man. I don't know how to draw. And then now you changing people. Now you got, you know, you know how it goes. It starts spreading, like, you know what I'm saying. And now we're away from the team. We're like, man, watch. You know, so it always takes that one key person to start that, and you can tell that's kind of what happened. And it just spread through the team like wildfire.
So what makes you think it won't happen with
I
this
didn't say
rookie
it
coach?
wouldn't. I didn't say it wouldn't, but you can just see it just spread where they wasn't feeling D-Ham for whatever reason. Because if they would have protected him. Brian would have spoke up. No, y'all better not trade. You know what I'm saying? Like, they had to ask Brian maybe, like, how do you feel about it? And
Oh yeah, you know they did.
I don't
He was
know for
aware
sure.
of
I'm
the
not saying
decision,
he was
I'm
aware of the
sure,
situation.
yeah.
I'm not trying to speak for him or whatever, but that's how it was. It only take one key person to start that that wildfire to spark that flame, and then it's like everybody starting to look like, man, shit, that was a bull crap play he said, or man, he ain't saying the right stuff, he ain't motivate. It could be anything for these kids because, you know, me being a coach and me being in the college, you know, in Power 5, man, these kids, it's tough to keep them happy. You know what I'm saying? It's tough to keep these guys happy because it's just a different era of kids, it's a different era of basketball, and I don't know if he might have been too hard on him, he might not have been hard enough. It's just always something, and if it's one little thing, it's like a cancel culture now. Like, you know what I'm saying? They'll cancel. They'll get you up out of here. They'll get you up out of here quick.
So how do you, like, in the way you evaluate a player, what are things you see or hear that make you think, okay, yeah, he or she could be a good coach? Because, again, none of us will know until he gets hired and they tip it in October. None of us will know for sure. Yeah. But what are those things you see or hear beforehand?
I mean, you see, and that's the thing. You know what I'm saying? If it's a veteran coach or somebody who was even under a program, then, you know what I'm saying, you could sit here and say, like, all right, let's just say he was, as it always is with a lot of coaches, let's just say Redick was under Pop's program. Uh-huh. He came through with San Antonio, assistant coach, a couple years, this and that. So he's now our head coach. As a player, I'm thinking, okay, he's going to come with a few of San Antonio plays and just tweak it a little bit, but you know, to his own. But he's gonna come with that San Antonio culture. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna try to start his guys on defense and zone in on defense and this and that. So as a player, that's what I'm like, all right. So now it might be like, all right, you know, I'm gonna give him a shot. You know what I'm saying? And even if he was a coach, a veteran coach on another team, and the other team was bad or didn't make the playoffs, you as that player, you still like, all right, I'm going to give him that respect because it is hard to coach an NBA team.
100%.
So I'm going to give him that respect as this player. Right. Like, all right, let me see what he got. I'm going to go ahead, you know, because I wasn't a big fan, even though, you know, rest in peace, that's KG, man, and everything. I wasn't a big fan of Flip Saunders when he came there. Yeah. But his first year, you know, I was like, okay, I'm going to see what he got. I ain't gonna say nothing. I am gonna give it 100%. I'm gonna go in here, do this, do that. But shit, if I see it, I don't like it, then fuck it. Hey, I'm gonna let it be known I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what's actually missing with a lot of players in this culture. You know what I'm saying? You have your megastars who are controlling the team, and you know it's like the lesser guys going bitch to him. Yeah. Or they might bitch to his homie he always hanging with. You know, you always got your little cliques on the teams and shit now, which, you know, makes it a different style league too, other than when we played. But nah, dog, as a player, I'm not going coming into the Lakers this preseason. Just for training camp, shit. No, I'm like, man, what the fuck is going on here?
I know, but it's tough to say though, because you got like him. He just came from a chip.
But that goes to what I just said. Yeah. As that player, I gotta respect that.
But they did know in LA.
Yeah, true. At first they had to. At first they did.
Season 1, it seemed like they did.
At first they did,
but
and then
they did great.
And then exactly, and they had times on when they did shit. I mean, even though I think it was some bullshit, but it was still they won the in-season chip shit, the in-season tournament. But at some point, they had to come together and believe what he was saying for that.
Well, it got to be more personal than anything.
Oh yeah, I mean, we don't know everything that happened.
Come on, they just. You know, they had a decent year his first year. They just won the in-season championship. They was above 500. They lost to the defending champs. That's not getting fired. Like what else? Like,
I mean, we see how it is for coaches now. That's what I'm saying. Get hotter and hotter.
It's just more like I don't think they respected him enough as an organization. You know what I'm saying? To really just keep their arms around him like, hey, he's one of ours. We're gonna protect him. Kind of like when you look at, you know, and I'm so happy and shout out to our guy Ty Lue. They did that with him. This is our guy. You know, they respect him from top to bottom, from the players to the top of the organization. This is our guy. He's strong enough to keep us together. He can talk to these guys. He can do everything that he needs to do as a former player. And obviously he won a chip before, and he has that type of cachet. But they respect him as a dude. You know, I've been around Ty Lue for a long time. I've been knowing him forever. And if you've been around Ty, he's a funny dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? He don't keep it too seriously, but he can keep it serious, and he knows what he's talking about with his basketball. So it's something that you want to get behind, guys like him. And you would think a guy like D Ham, who's kind of in that similar role, that kind of that similar path that Ty Lue went down. I thought he would have a longer tenure with the Lakers, and it just sucks that it's almost like win or bust. Like you either got win it all,
the game now,
or bust. And it's a sad state to be in, but I guess that's how cutthroat this game is now.
We saw Bickerstaff, Vogel got 1 year.
Yeah.
And also fired from the Lakers after winning the championship. So it feels like it's definitely win or bust.
Mm-hmm.
The Wizards did hire Brian Keefe. He's been their interim coach since January, previously with the Knicks, Lakers, Thunder, Nets, and OKC when they were Seattle. So he's been an assistant for a minute. Yeah.
With that, if I'm a player, they just hired him. If I'm a player coming into this season, it's like I got to respect what this coach, I got to respect his body of work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I can't respect the cat who doesn't have a body of work in that field. Now, as a player, yeah, JJ, he's a great shooter. We all know him as a great shooter.
Yeah.
And that's about it. He wasn't a defender or none of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But what did he do in the league? What did he do?
As a coach?
No, as a player. For me, if I'm a young guy,
Yeah.
And I don't know him as a coach. So I'm looking at him as this player. He didn't do nothing in the league for me to be like, oh yeah, we gonna be nice this year. You know what I'm saying? No. And granted, yeah, we know he could hire a good coaching staff. And as I said, we know he's gonna have Coach K in his ear at some point throughout the year as a mentor. You know what I'm saying?
Consultant for sure.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Consultant
for sure.
For sure.
But
100%.
I mean, as that player, with me coming in, if I'm on the Lakers right now and they do name him the coach, like, dog, I'm like, man, I'm talking to my agent. I'm like, man, keep that motherfucking phone warm. Keep that phone warm. Especially if I'm a veteran player, and like you said, that I'm telling you, man, that when that window get to closing, you see it, you feel it more than anything.
Yeah.
You feel it.
And
Yeah, your body gonna tell you.
Yeah.
Because that bounce back ain't gonna be the same.
Cavs talking to Kenny Atkinson and James Borrego. Those have been the names mentioned. But I wonder, what's Sam Cassell got to do to get a look, man? And maybe he doesn't want it in that way, or he's waiting for the right situation.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Man, I don't think that. I think he's just trying to get it. Sam deserved one.
For sure.
They recycled the same names over every job to come open. You hear the same names come open. Those 4 or 5 different names over and over and over again. And Sam has been a long time assistant. He's paid his dues. You know what I'm saying? He gets it. Give him a chance. You know what I'm saying? You don't hear and when you do kind of hear his name in there, it's kind of like a throw-in. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, so they won't get, fined and all that shit.
Yeah, it's like a throw-in. Like, I want him to get a serious consideration because Sam, people don't understand how good of a dude Sam and how funny he is, but he's a people person. You know what I'm saying? He is a glue guy. And I think he'd be great at the helm because the type of dude he is and how he moves, the bravado that he moves with, and he's one of our OGs. I haven't played with him, but the times I was around him, I'm like, yeah, you can tell he's a leader, and he deserves a chance.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think he, in my personal opinion, I could be wrong, but I don't think he wants it. He's been around, and he has as a chip. I think he was on that Boston team in coaching staff, I think in 2008. I'm not 100% sure.
He was a player then. On that
oh, well,
Boston
yeah,
team.
saying that. And, he's been
chips.
around. Yep, Houston got chips, and,
Got 2 chips in
shit.
Houston.
You learn shit from Rudy T. Rudy T was a pretty good coach in this league.
He's been in the staff for a long time.
Exactly. So he's been, team after team.
Ty
assistant since 2009.
He has,
Ty Lue's staff.
he has that experience. So now, if he gets named my coach, I'm coming into camp. I'm like, shit, I'm coming with a little pep in my step now. I'm like, all right, because now he got track record as a coach and a player. Yeah, that was a good one, right? As a coach and a player, right? So now, all right, I'm gonna respect it a little bit more.
Yeah.
But it's hard to respect that. You know what I'm saying? That coach that just came out of nowhere. Shit, even Steve Kerr was on San Antonio's bench for a second or two before he got the Golden State gig. You know what I'm saying? Even though we all thought like, oh, how he get it out of nowhere, but it's like, shit, he got it, but look at his track he was with, came from a good program as far as coaching, you know what I'm saying?
He did front office work, analyst work.
Analyst work,
that, Moving on, did y'all see the MLB is adding the Negro League stats? Josh Gibson becomes a new career leader in batting average, slugging, and OPS, passing Ty Cobb and Babe Ruth.
A lot of Yankees fans is mad.
They said Ty Cobb is looking up from hell, very upset.
Wow.
Him and Babe.
Wow.
I already told you the theory on the Babe. Babe might have been one of us.
Wow.
Allegedly.
Wow.
But thoughts on the Negro League stats getting added to the Major League?
I just think it's awesome. I think it's, they played the game. They played it in different scenarios, different situations, but they played it, and they played it at a high level. And I think they should count their stats. I mean, why not? And and this, even in basketball, you know what I'm saying, you got the ABAs and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying, like these guys were some of the greatest athletes in our sport
To play.
You know what I'm saying, no matter where they was playing at, they still are some of the best in our sport. So I think it was an awesome achievement. It was an awesome accomplishment, and everybody should be proud that to kind of see those different names that kind of start, saying catapulting some of those names that've been there forever. So that's really a good thing. It's awesome. I'm gonna go back and start looking at some of the records and see the names that kind of catapult up there. It's gonna be interesting.
I'm definitely going to look at the Baseball Hall of Fame different now. We have some Negro players who were recognized in there. We had a few of them that were able to, be established and play enough games to where they are respected. And man, it's major, cuz that's major. That's major. Because now it's going to shake up the record books, as far as on a lot of positions.
Yeah.
Pitching, slugging percentage, home runs, on base percentage, on base with runners and scoring position percentage. It's going to change all this shit now. So, and I'm definitely interested now to see how they're going to rearrange things up there in the Baseball Hall of Fame now with this being added. But it's great. It's great because now we can learn and have more knowledge about Negro League teams that a lot of baseball fans might not have been following or have known about before.
Yeah. Right, like you see a guy, if he jumped to the top, you look up, okay, who was this
Who
Josh
this?
Gibson guy?
Yeah, who was
if you
he?
wasn't familiar
Yeah.
with him. You mentioned the ABA stats. They're kept separate. Like, do you feel like those should be counted in total as well? Because guys like Moses Malone, Dr. J, Dan Issel, to name a couple guys that had a lot of success in the ABA before coming to the NBA.
Definitely. I mean, you got to think those guys were playing some of their best ball at that time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
they prime.
If you
It's
put
like their first 5,
if you
6
put those
years,
if you put those stats together, them guys catapult a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? If you put those stats together, you got to
puts
put
Dr. J into the 30K
You know what I'm
points
saying?
club, playoffs as well. It elevates him.
elevates them because
Yeah.
we only saw Doc. Doc has always been the face of the league for a long time. I mean, he's still the face. I mean, if you ever have an opportunity to be around Dr. J, you're gonna be like you're in the presence of. It's almost like man, is that
President.
the president, Billy D. Williams, Denzel, for the community.
Right. You shake his hand.
You shake his
his
hand.
motherfucking
Yeah.
hand's gonna be halfway
yeah,
up your
elbow,
forearm.
But I got an opportunity to play with him. When we started the Big Three, he was our coach for the Tri-State team, and I was with him for 10 straight weeks for 3 years, and just a smooth dude and cool. He'll tell stories, and I got an opportunity to go. I went and supported him at a ABA event, 50th anniversary ABA event, and went to their luncheon and just kind of hear stories and talk about the guys and just all the stuff they went through. And I was just so thankful that the NBA, finally started taking care of those guys in terms of health care and all that stuff, because that was, kind of see a lot of them guys walk up there and, how they, they couldn't walk, they couldn't really move like they wanted to, and because they put they put their bodies on the line. Treatment and healthcare wasn't for them, available to them back then. And you see them guys just, and you'd be like, man, I was almost in tears because you see it. And I was just so happy that the NBA stepped up to help those guys. And, you had guys like Dr. J and Peter Vesey was up there talking about how he covered those guys and how he was just
Back then, when
when
it started out,
it first started. It was just really a cool event, man. So they definitely should be, those stats should be combined, and then we'll see really, their complete body of work.
I believe it'll affect the
sure.
pensions as well. Like if you add it on, that's more service time.
It affects everything
for the guys that
it
need
affects
it, like
everything.
you were saying.
And if you look at it like Bonzi was saying, look at those numbers from when those guys were in their prime and match it up to prime NBA guys. That shit, that ABA probably was a little bit higher.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think at first it was looked at as like a circus league, as like, a Harlem Globetrotters league, because guys were so fucking athletic.
Right.
Shout out to my man Clifford Ray. He won a couple chips and stuff in the league, and he played in the ABA as well. But it's like, man, just sitting back and he was the coach of mine when I was at Boston. So just sitting back on a plane and, at lunch or something, and hearing stories of what he had to say about, just the NBA, about when it first became a entity in itself.
Yeah.
And then, he was with the NBA the ABA, excuse me. And I was like, man, just, sitting there like a kid looking at my grandfather, like, whoa.
Stuff you have no idea about.
Oh, no idea. And these are great stories, because it's like the guys he talking about were my idols growing up. Moses Malone, Dr. J, you know what I'm saying? With me being from Philly, that was my team.
Yeah.
That was Philly right there. Whenever you think about Sixers, until AI got there, and now you got to think of AI as well. But before AI got there, you talk about the Philly Sixers. Oh, Doc. Doc is the first person to come to mind. Like you said, he's a smooth operator, man. He's smooth. Smooth. But no, it's a great thing. And yeah, I wish they would, add those ABA years to the stat books, because it's the roots of the NBA.
100%.
It's the roots of the NBA.
100%.
Moving on, we saw Thunder GM Sam Presti in a press conference saying, quote, "I missed on that," end quote, regarding the trade for Gordon Hayward. Do y'all remember a time where a GM admitted a mistake this publicly?
He said what?
No.
He said, quote, "I missed on that," referring to him trading for Gordon Hayward.
Missed that
this
target.
year. Have you ever had a time in y'all's career where a GM or coach admitted a mistake to you?
Not publicly.
Like that? Yeah, that's
no.
what feels kind of crazy.
He said that about Gordon Hayward. Those type of crimes don't happen.
Sean couldn't believe it.
Yeah, those type of crimes don't happen.
Think about that one, Shawn.
Disbelief.
Those type of crimes don't happen, man. God, I can see. God, those type of crimes don't happen.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm shocked.
Well, I did see Gordon Hayward came out first and said something about he was, I think he said something about he was unhappy with his playing time.
About his role. And said he was disappointed.
He was disappointed in his role. So they probably asked him the question on how to, maybe about, I hope, how do you feel about Gordon's comments? And God, he threw a haymaker. He didn't throw no jab. He's like, God, that's tough.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put this one on me.
Hand up.
Yeah, he threw a haymaker at that kid.
If you trade for a guy like that, do you have to make more of an effort to play him? Because in Charlotte, in 25 games, started every game, he's at 32 minutes a night. Oklahoma City, 26 games, only started 3 times, 17 minutes a night. So he wasn't getting the minutes, he wasn't getting the shots. So you kind of see why Hayward was disappointed.
Yeah. But
what can you do? OKC was rolling, right?
Ain't too much you can do.
I obviously thought he was going to come in and enhance him as a veteran and get him better, but they was already number one. They was playing well. Who did they trade him for? Or did they just use one of those picks?
It was Trey Mann, a young guy, and I believe probably some draft picks, maybe some salary.
Also it could have been the fact of, again, we talk about that maturation level in a player. If you're used to starting from high school, you started in college, you started when you first got in the NBA, and now you got to take this backseat role, a lot of guys don't know how to accept that mentally.
At first,
Yeah. So, we don't know. We outside looking in, but maybe it could have been a situation like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Where, again, he's thinking that, all right, I'm going to come in here, I'm going to be the man, I'm going to get the same shots that I got up in Charlotte. But the other cats is, they outplaying me.
That way,
So, all right, they outplaying you. You got to show me something in practice now.
Yeah.
Show me something in practice to where
they don't
you
practice.
get out on the floor.
They don't practice.
Well, that's the problem.
Come on now. That's what.
Show me something in shoot around.
Yeah.
Show me something to walk through.
Show me something in film. Like ask some questions. Say something, but God, they don't practice.
Did y'all see what Stephen A. said about Kawhi Leonard?
No.
I think
I don't even know if do we want to hear it?
I think we do. I think we've got the clip. You could tell right now Stephen A. furious.
Oh, look at your face. Oh, Lord.
Let's see what Stephen A. had to say about Kawhi.
I'm really sick of y'all. This is the worst superstar. Now, the word superstar is applicable here because he is a superstar when healthy on the basketball court. This is not a conversation about his ability when healthy. He is a two-time champion, a two-time NBA Finals MVP. The brother is a big-time basketball player. Jay, this is not a discussion about his skills and how elite he is. This is the worst superstar. I can make a case this is the worst superstar in the history of sports. He is a nightmare. You're talking about the first 4 years of his time with the Clippers, he's averaged 40.3 games a year. I'm really...
Agree? Disagree?
I don't know. That's a whole new topic for me.
Worst superstar.
I never heard Screaming A, come up with that topic before.
Screaming Tripper, man. Screaming Tripper. and and I get what he's saying, though, because he said all this stuff, all the accolades when he played, but you can't. Injuries is something you can't control.
In fact.
Right. Injuries, and it's like kicking a man when he's down. Like, bro, I know the competitor in Kawhi wants to play.
For sure.
And I think if it was 20 years ago NBA, 15 years ago NBA, he probably would have played more through injury. Mm-hmm. But they don't let you play through injuries no more. I mean, they got these sole protocols like, man, you got to go through this stage before you can even get to the stage where we're talking about playing. Mm-hmm. So it's so much stuff you got to go through, especially a guy like him who's their franchise guy. They're going to make extra precaution. Now, if you were the 13th guy, them steps we probably went from 5 to maybe 2. All right, get out there, boy, and see what it is. You got to prove yourself.
Right, got to prove yourself.
But we got so much money invested in him. We got to keep putting him through them situations. And we hate they're having setbacks because it seems like he always have setbacks. Like he'll be playing well 10, 20, 50, 30 games maybe. Then, a little knee gets swelling. Then you start seeing the sitting out a game, play 2 games, can't play back-to-backs now. So, it sucks. But me to say he's the worst superstar ever, that's Stephen A., I can't agree with you on that because he, injuries are part of it, and I'll never kick a man while he's down.
Yeah, he played 68 games this year, but missed the playoffs.
Yeah.
Again, or missed majority of it. And I think Stephen A. said he hadn't been available for 15 of the 19 playoff games. So he also went on to say, he said Kawhi makes no effort to promote his team, the game, or the NBA brand.
Whew.
Is that part of being a superstar? Do you agree with that part?
No, that is part of being a superstar when you get launched into that situation. But no, that's funny as shit though. Like I said, I ain't never heard of this topic. You know what I'm saying? This category before would being the worst megastar.
Like poorest billionaire.
Oh man, you was a poor billionaire, dude.
Poor billionaire, man. Golly.
On everything. But no, I mean, it is true. Like, you starting to see Kawhi just a little bit more now. He's promoted by New Balance, so you see him a little bit in a couple New Balance commercials. It's like, all right, he's trying to get his stuff out there, but I guess it's kind of hard for him because he is a quiet person, as we all know. But when you are, as Stephen A. Said, Screaming A was like, he's a megastar. He's up here. So, he's like one of the faces of the NBA. And so at some point, they do their promotion shit and all their media shit. And, if he's saying, less words, or if he hitting them with a God bless and good night, both teams play hard type of shit, then, But they shouldn't fault him for that because it's like, all right, we ain't going to ask him to do too much. He a quiet dude. But at the end of the day, he does his job. Yeah. And I think what Screaming A is saying, you healthy enough at times to get them motherfucking contracts, but as soon as you sign them deals, nigga, you hurting. You know what I'm saying? You out and about. Right. But again, like Bonzi said, you can say when you're going to get hurt or not, or how many times you get hurt, or reoccurring injuries, or new injuries as soon as you got over one. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You don't know. So, I mean, it's just fucked up that he's been hurt so much because he is that game-changing, dynamic player. You know what I'm saying? We saw that in Toronto. We saw that his years in San Antonio. So,
That's why you deal with the injury. Like you said, if you're the 13th man, you're not getting this type of patience.
No.
You have the type of ceiling Kawhi has.
Yeah, you got to, and then you got to understand, like Stephen A. said, he don't promote the game. He doesn't do this and that. He's not that vocal superstar. Like, I had the privilege of playing with somebody like that. This fool, and they just different. Like, you can't make them do something they don't want to do. You're not gonna let them get out their comfort zone. Like I used to always call him one-on-one because he's the same. She gonna do what she wants to do. He not gonna, if y'all going this way, he gonna go this way. Like, he's not trying to follow the crowd. He's not trying to do what everybody's doing. That's how Kawhi is. Like, he's not, like, he's quiet. Y'all know he's quiet. He ain't never said a word.
Right.
She didn't really say a lot of stuff until he got the podcast, and now we can't get him to shut up. You know what I'm saying? Now he's like, man, golly, can't get him to shut up now. But back when he was playing, every time we do an interview, both teams play hard. Mr. Wallace, both teams play hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, people didn't never see this person. So Kawhi is like that. Like, bro, I'm just coming to do my job and go home. That's for y'all to promote the stuff and do all that extra stuff.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to do all that extra stuff. And that's Kawhi. So for him to say all that stuff, like, bro, you know who he is. Come on, man. Don't try to group him with other people that's done this stuff and did the whole, the
hokey pokey.
Yeah, they ain't do all that. That's not who he is. So, understand who the audience you're talking to, or talking about, and that's not who he is. So, so that's a crazy take. That's a crazy take.
You're trying to knock out some fan questions?
Indubitably.
Got a few fan questions. As always, thank y'all for tapping in and sending those questions. First one.
Oh, man, hold up. I did have a fan send me a question, though. Hold on, let me pull this up and read it. Yeah, out of everything. All right, here it go. Why is Bonzi on the show? Bonds? Care to answer? Sag no.
You want to field that?
We really was like inquiring, like, what they say? What they write?
First question. That was the first question, actually. From Robert Lamel, says, Rashid, if you spent your Portland years in Detroit with the same cast, how many championships do you think you'd get?
Wow. Minimum 2 at least. At least you talk. That's when I had young legs. I could jump out the gym then. You know what I'm saying? Now I can't jump over a Saturday newspaper. But, you know what I'm saying? I think we could have got multiple.
At least
especially.
2.
At least.
Next question from Sutter Ave Ty says, most impactful moment of your career off the court for both of you. Most impactful moment of your career off the court.
Man, you have so many because, like being a professional athlete, you find yourself helping people more than anything. You know what I'm saying? You're helping so many people. So it's so many moments. Obviously, you're having kids and having families. That's that's big a moment. But when you helping people, like, you're helping family members to go to college, go to school, you're helping them with day-to-day stuff. You know what I'm saying? You're going to, talk to kids doing camps. You're going to hospitals. You're doing so much stuff to brighten people's day. It's tough to really just put it into one because that's kind of your job. Like, when people see you, they be happy. Like, when you're a professional athlete, people see you be genuinely happy, and you try to say something and to be memorable. You try to make the experience memorable. So that's how it always for me, and I know countless other guys. Is just there's so many moments that you can impact lives that it could be small things too. So it's tough to really pinpoint one for me.
Man, I think I got 2. For me, the first one was, what was it? What's that big hurricane we had here not too long ago that fucked up all of the Northeast? It flooded New York and Philly. Sandy. Yeah, thank you. During Hurricane Sandy, after that aftermath, when I was with the Knicks, I really felt it and felt my presence was good amongst people when we went to different projects. We went to Brownsville. Brownsville, they had one of the toughest projects in New York where a lot of the sports teams don't go. You know what I'm saying? So when we went there, and to see all of those people lined up for, a lot of the necessities that they needed, like, I felt that. I was thankful to the Most High I was there that day. Yeah. And the second time I felt like that was off of the court was when I was doing some work with New Era Detroit out in Flint.
Oh, yeah.
When we were doing the whole water situation, and, we were passing out a lot of perishable needs for a lot of the families and the young mothers, and we going in projects and everything up there in Flint and bad areas where no one would go to help them, and we up there handing out cases of water and Pampers and formula, everything we can, and I felt that. I felt like I was thankful to the Most High of who I was at that time, because what I was and who I was able to bring a lot of help to those who needed it. I would say those are my two biggest moments off of the court.
100%.
Next question is from J.J. Edwards. Said, love these player debates. So who was a better guard, Steve Nash or Jason Kidd? Would love a breakdown of this from your guys' eyes. Oh, wow. Can't even finish the question. Would love a breakdown of this from your guys' eyes. Y'all laughing at JJ's question?
I'm sorry, JJ. I'm sorry, dog. You my guy still, you know what I mean? But
man.
nah, that's not even a good comparison.
Really?
Yeah. No, I'm going with J Kidd all day, every day with that one. Steve Nash, as good as he was, both of them set the table. But for me, I'm kind of pointing the arrow more towards J Kidd because he was the bigger guard. He was just as fast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He can get from one end of the floor to the other in like two and a half dribbles or whatever like that, 3 dribbles. And J Kidd was more of a defender.
Yeah.
He I wouldn't necessarily say he hung his hat on defense, but he wasn't a liability.
Yeah.
And that's how I saw Steve Nash. I saw Steve Nash as a defensive liability. And granted, he was a good point guard, came down, set everybody up. He could bust that tramp, shoot that 3, had a good mid-range as well. But no, I'm going for me, and this is just my opinion, just for me, that's not a comparison between him and J Kidd.
Yeah, and I got to agree with Sheed on that. I mean, only thing I feel like Steve Nash had on J Kidd, obviously, like you just said, he was just a range shooter. But they both were exceptional passers. J Kidd. But what I give J Kidd, and she just spoke up on it, he was a big guard. J Kidd about 6'4".
Not posting him.
You know what I'm saying? So he can guard multiple positions. He can guard 1-to-1s, the 2s, the 3s. He guarded me. You know what I'm saying? Because then he got a nice size to him. He's solid. You know what I'm saying? And Steve Nash is he about 6'2", 6'3", but he's a wiry, smaller 6'2", 6'3". So
give me that ball.
Yeah. So for J Kidd playing both sides of the ball, they both probably had a similar career scoring average because they were pass first point guards.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying, similar to a Chris Paul, like we trying to get everybody else going. You know what I'm saying, get it going. So their points per game numbers could kind of be skewed a little bit, but their assist numbers, I mean, they got to be similar. Because they both was always 9, 10, but to give J Kidd, the nod, I would give him because he played both sides of the ball. And not saying Steve Nash didn't the best he could, but he was, from my point of view, Jason Kidd was a really good defender, and he stole the ball a lot. Like
9 times all defense.
Yeah, he stole the ball a lot. He took the challenge, so that's why I would give it to J Kidd as well.
Next question from Saad says, for Sheed, how was it facing Yao Ming? And Bonzi, how was it playing with Yao Ming? The people love Yao talk.
For me, Yao was an advantage. I mean, you playing with it. Yao was a giant. You know what I'm saying? Like
literally.
You be with guys 6'10", 6'7" foot. You take it from granted. And then when Yao walk in the room 7'6", you're like, that's tall.
Right.
People come to me like, man, you're tall. I'm like, bro, I'm only 6'6". And when you see somebody 7'6", is a whole nother level.
Right.
And I mean, it was awesome playing with Yao. Like, you just got to experience what he experienced. You know what I'm saying? Basketball was one thing for us, but just to kind of see culturally how somebody comes over here, adapts, you know what I'm saying, and it becomes a superstar through murky water because, he coming from China. If you've never been to China, it's a whole different world. And to come over here to adapt, to be able to thrive and do all the stuff he did, to pick up on all the stuff he picked up on, obviously the language barrier, the food, then the style of play, being around different people who's from a whole nother culture from you. I mean, I think Yao did a great job of adjusting to it, and he was just a good dude. And, he had good people around him. You know what I'm saying? Yao didn't have an entourage of 25 people around him. He had his family around him that kept him grounded and kept him humble. And it was just an honor to be able to play against the great Yao, play with the great Yao Ming.
Well, yeah, playing against him, it was definitely hard. Because you're talking about a guy, as Bonzi said, 7'5", 7'6", weighing at least 330 pounds.
Oh, my
and here I am, I'm 6'11", and I'm thinking that I'm heavy, weighing about 265, 270. So and here it is,
He got you by 60
oh
pounds.
man, but
heavy too.
the thing about it with him as that defender playing against him, one thing I always tried to do was get him out of his comfort zone.
Yeah.
Like just start fighting him before he gets to the block. All right, I'm gonna start. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna start wrestling
free
and
throw line.
all this shit. Yeah,
If he
at
get there,
the
it's too
top of the
late.
key with a
Yeah.
free throw line because I know I'm at the disadvantage the closer you are to the basket, no
late.
matter if I got the double coming or not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And no, he was at first when I didn't hear of him before he came into the NBA. I didn't know who he was or anything like that or have any type of experience of his international play. When he got here and his first few games, just watching him, and then I was like, all right, let me watch him against Shaq. Let me see, like, what does he do against Shaq and, other centers at that time. It's like, all right, he got some good moves. He coming with the left shoulder, right shoulder jump hooks. He come with the left shoulder turnaround. He put it on the floor, 2 or 3 dribbles. He can, and even though he didn't have to, but at 7'5", he trying to give you a up and under. I'm like, all right, he got a good skill set with him. So that's what made me say, like, all right, look at him more in depth.
Yeah.
What he doesn't like the run, and he's used to physical play, but after he's set up on a block. When he got the ball, now he used to everybody, beating him up and coming and fouling him and shit like that. But he's not used to that physical play coming down the court where, I might be fucking with him, hey, on some Charles Barkley shit. Shoot, we not running next to each other down the court. Hey, shoot him a little quick one or something.
Yeah.
Just got to get him out of his mindset because I know I'm at the disadvantage if he catch my little ass down there on the block. It's poster time.
It's over.
Next question from I Want Meatloaf.
Ooh.
Says, what was your approach between rounds in the playoffs? Seems like Boston and Dallas will have over a week before the finals. Is rest more important, watching film, or trying to get in as much practice as you can?
I think 2 out of 3 for sure. And that's rest and watching film. Because while you're resting, you're just watching film and getting your mind right. But you got to rest. It's been a long season. These boys been going since late September, early October. And you know what I mean? Like, so you got to rest. And, don't get me wrong. We're going to walk through some stuff. We're going to get on the court. But we're not trying to really, go at each other or try to do anything to get hurt for one. But just do anything that, we're just going to go up and down. It might be 5-on-0, which we call basically the guys going up and down. Running. We call it dummy offense, where you're running down, doing your offense 5-on-0, you're coming back. We're going to do a lot of that stuff. We're going to try to stay away from live as much as we possibly can. We might try ramping it up a little bit as we get closer to the game, but it's not, it's going to be controlled scrimmages. And then we call controlled scrimmages, like we might let you go up and down once or twice. Hey, hold up, all right. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of control it. Like we don't want to get your competitive juices going too much because now it gets, guys start getting ramped up. And we might let them do a little one-on-one stuff to kind of keep their rhythm. But for the most part, rest. We want our guys to be fresh as possible and healthy as possible.
Oh, yeah, definitely. The rest is key. And in between rounds, you're definitely looking at your opponent. And I think the main thing as a player, if you're not practicing, if you're not going to have, that physical contact, hey, as that coaching staff, and as them veteran players, hey, I'm going to make sure I get my shots up. I'm going to make sure I get my cardio in. Yeah. We're going to do a lot of shooting drills. And believe it or not, in between the playoffs, that's when, we get that money betting going on here.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Because, let's say we all was on a team and we getting our workout in. So we got 100 on the floor. Boom, 100 a man. We going 5 spots.
Yeah, we shooting.
You know what I'm saying? We get actual real work in. It's going to be spot shooting, and it's going to be, pump faking. It's going to be dribble right or dribble left, but game situation shit. But it's going to be for the money, which gives you more of that competitive nature. Because now it's just not like, all right, shit, I don't even feel like being here. Right. Oh, shit. Oh, 3 stacks? Yeah, let's roll. Come on. Where we shooting from? Where we shooting? What we doing? You know what I'm saying? That keeps that competitive nature going. And then, it's just cake work when you're out there on the floor. You are looking at film. You're definitely coming up. The coaches, let me tell you this. it don't matter either way, for real.
No,
I was about to say it don't matter.
Please.
It don't matter if you're a head coach in the league or like an assistant coach in the league, if you married or not. Yeah. But during the playoffs, coaches up to the wee hours of the morning and they get into the gym early in the morning and they watch so much fucking film over and over and over. Hey, yo, I need you to do me a favor. Send me the last 2 minutes of they last 25 games so I can see what plays they ran. Chop and edit them for the last 2 minutes, only their possessions. Then the video dude, he up all night looking this and that, chopping and slicing and shit, and then send that shit to you about 6:15 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? And now you as an assistant coach, you get into the office, you got the coaches meeting at 8:15, 8:30. Yep. Then now you got it and you are like, it's huge, yo. You're really focused in, you're really locked in on it because now it's just this one team.
Yeah.
I ain't got to think about the other motherfucking 30-something teams in the league. I'm just thinking about this one team. So now I'm going to just dissect them, break it down a little more.
Mm. Next question. No username with this one said, having played against him at the time, how good was Michael Jordan on the Washington Wizards?
Pump fake Jordan?
The very same.
Man, pump fake Jordan was still lethal. Man, I thought I was one of them, you know, I remember my first time playing against this. I didn't get the luxury of playing. I got in the league in '98, but it became a lockout and he retired. So I was so distraught. You know what I'm saying? And she got a chance to play against him. You know what I'm saying? When they was winning championships, so she got his experience was gonna be different. But I remember for me, I got a chance to play against the Washington Wizards, Jordan, for the first time, and I was stoked. I was so excited and happy. And I think we ended up. Did we end up beating them? We might have beat them.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
we beat them in Chicago.
And he didn't have the best game, but you know, I remember the first time I was on the island with him, I was just so excited, and you know, he kind of got an angle on me, and he got the pump fake of me and get into a shot, and he still had 20-something on us, and I was just saying to myself, like, man, 87 Jordan was probably so different than 2000, and you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think it might have been 2001, 2002 Jordan. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying? You just couldn't imagine. So I was just like, man, but I was just thankful to play against him. But he wasn't as fast, but he knew how to get to his spot, and he was so deceptive, and he just knew angles, and he still killed us or whatever. But you know, I can only imagine playing against the '90s Jordan when he was really like had that pop and had that athleticism. It would probably been totally different.
Oh, it damn sure was. I did both, and so it damn sure was. You know, in that '95 year, my rookie year. You know, we would have faced them in the playoffs, but when I was out there, you know, United Center, that's when they was in their heyday, and you know, you going in, and they playing the music and got the banners up with all the smoke. You like, damn, this shit looked just like this on TV when I was watching this shit, you know what I'm saying? And he was a phenomenal player then, but I think he was a little bit more dangerous when he was with the Wizards. He didn't have the athleticism that we were used to seeing MJ have. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I'm with Bonzi. His angles were a little bit more sharp. You know, you wasn't going to move him. He was a strong 2-guard, 2-3 guard. You wasn't going to just move him lightly. And his shot became more dangerous. You know, he became more solid as that veteran player when his years in Washington, as the question stated. You know, it was like one of them, don't leave him open.
Yeah.
Don't leave Michael Jordan open.
Yeah, he's still out there talking shit.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? He talking shit, but he dropping dimes, and you know what I'm saying? It was like, damn. But the only thing he was missing was
the hop.
That's it. That's it. You know, his jump shot was still a killer.
Yeah.
And you know, but the thing I liked about it with him there, you seen that he was that veteran player where he was even out there on the floor coaching and guiding all the young players, you know, Rip, Ronnie Profit, you know, guys running around. He was still coaching those guys.
Yeah.
Next question from AD911 says, do both of you have a good Shawn Kemp story?
No.
Nothing comes to mind.
Nah, man. God. That boy Kemper, boy. That Kemper. That's what we call him, the Kemper.
The Kempers.
The Kempers, boy. You know, Kemp.
Let me see. Yeah, I got it. Well, I mean, I don't know how good it is, but I remember the first time I played against him. You you know, as a high school player, when he was in a dunk contest, you know, him and Kenny Skywalker, Kemp was my favorite dunker. And I say that for the simple fact, I'm like, damn, he's tall like me. He's, you know, 6'10", 6'11", but he jumps out the fucking gym. And when I was in high school, I was able to jump then.
All right.
But I'm like, man, you know, that's my guy. And then I tried to emulate a lot of his dunks, you know, jumping from the foul line with the one knee up and the other knee so far back that your heel is touching your butt and you in the air like this.
that one.
Man, I tried to emulate all his dunks and shit. And then got to the league, playing against Kempers. Oh, man, put me in the basket. My feelings is hurt.
He got you bad?
Huh? Who didn't he get nice?
Oh, man.
Who didn't he get nice?
You joined some good company, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I joined. Hey, I'm another mark on the motherfucking shoulder with that one. But no, it was just, you know, ooh and the ah. It was like, that was the first time I actually said to myself, now I know how these other cats feel when I was playing against them in college and high school and jumping out the fucking gym.
Yeah.
And you got to
some
put your
empathy.
head on the swivel to see where the motherfucker coming from.
Yeah.
Man, that's how I was with him. I was so motherfucking nervous against him and Pat Ewing. Pat Ewing was my idol.
Yeah.
You know, it was Dr. J when I was a young boy, and Pat Ewing when I started playing basketball, and then, you know, moved to Kemp because of his athleticism. I was like, man, that motherfucker right there, he was nice. Then GP just, and he's like, man, who the hell? Oh!
So he was your idol, huh?
Yeah, dog.
Indiana kid.
Oh, I know.
Indiana kid. You know, it's funny. He was your idol. Okay. No, I got hip to Kemp, and this is a crazy story. My high school played against Shawn Kemp's high school in 1988, and my high school beat their high school for the championship.
Oh, shit.
And Kemp was just such a man child. You know, I graduated high school in 94, so in 98 I was probably, I was in sixth, seventh grade.
Sixth, seventh grade.
Yeah, grade. Wow. Sixth, seventh grade.
He ain't graduated yet.
And I remember.
No, not talking like that.
And I remember going to the high school games. Yeah. But I remember going to the games, and I was trying to follow basketball. I was just really getting into basketball, and I remember we was making our high school run. You know, our neighborhood, it's called Muncie Central, and we was making our run, and this is '88, and I remember we was like, man, we gotta play Shawn Kemp. Oh man, it's over with. It's over with, man. Kemp came out, probably had 6 dunks, the first 2 quarters. I'm talking about dunking on us. I'm talking about he's 16, dunking, doing. I was like, oh God, and we ended up beating them down the stretch. And I was just saying to myself, like, man, if that's what pros look like, man, golly, man, I don't know.
My work cut out for me.
It was scary. It was scary, and just kind of watching his career and just seeing how he just dominated. You know what I'm saying? Like, Kemp was long. You know what I'm saying? Spade black, cut up. You know what I'm saying? Had the perfect box. You know what I'm saying? Shorty boy box. He used to go up here. And,
it was aerodynamic.
You know what I'm saying? Aerodynamic. And he had that look like he was dead serious, wasn't playing with you. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't smiling
That
much.
Indiana look.
You know what I'm saying? Then he'd do the antics. You know
Oh,
what I'm saying? He'd dunk on someone, get to doing something crazy. And, I always looked up to him, but I never got a chance to meet him. And then when he came to play for the Blazers, man, it was like the best thing for me personally, being in Indiana. He was one of our guys. He was like an idol.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Glenn Robinson for me growing up, Indiana boys.
Mm-hmm.
They were my idols in basketball. And getting a chance to play with him, man, and just being around him. And this was, his vertical wasn't the same when he got to play.
No, yeah, he was on the downside of his career.
His vertical wasn't the same,
but
great dude, man, cool, and just being around him, man, just funny as hell.
Yeah.
Like, Kemp was probably one of the funniest dudes in the world, man. And you know what I'm saying? But just seeing him and his career, man, he's probably one of the best to ever do it at the power forward spot.
got some stories for your ass. And then he was a good veteran,
Great vet.
Just
Great
with
vet.
me just talking to him, and he pointing shit out on the floor, and different little shit, times and schemes. Because again, I'm a young boy. I'm still trying to get where he already went. He been to them conference finals and all that.
NBA
so
finals.
it was like, man, all right, let me just soak this knowledge up, sit back. And like Bonzi said, no, he a funny motherfucker because what makes him funny is his antics and shit.
Oh, man.
So he gonna give you everything.
Facial expressions.
Good dude, though. That's my guy. Shout out to Kempers.
Next question from Danny says, Sheed, would you rather defend Kenyon Martin or Marcus Camby? Who do you think the tougher matchup will be?
Between them two, I would say Kenyon. For the fact Kenyon was more athletic. Not discrediting anything that Paper Thin did. No, that's what we used to call him. But Marcus, that's my guy too. But I think I look more for Marcus on defense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I wasn't expecting him too much on offense, except for make sure you block him out, because he will go to the board, will get that either tip dunk or tip out, or just that offensive rebound for his team. So make sure you put a body on him. Going back to playing against him in college as well. But no, in Kenyon, he was more athletic. He was a little bit faster, and I would say a little bit stronger, more aggressive. So I would say between them two, no, I was like, all right, I had to match his energy more. So yeah, it was. I love playing against Kenyon though. That's my guy right there.
Man, Angry Man Martin.
Angry Man Martin.
Crazy. He was trash. Angry Man was a monster, man. Angry Man, God.
And Natty.
Angry Man's motto is he gonna either win the game or the fight. You choose.
One of the two.
You choose which one you want to play for.
Yeah.
I ain't leaving out here without winning one of them, man. That's my dude, man. I love me some Kmart, man. I wish I could have had a chance to play with him because we had to match energies.
Oh, dog, we had a ball up there in New York. We was on the same squad then.
Yeah.
He came in a little later, but man, and Marcus is on that team too. All of us together.
Lord.
That's crazy that that question came up. But
Angry Man.
No, good dudes though.
Great
dudes.
Great dudes.
Next question, no name on this one, says, would the 2017 Warriors beat the 2004 Pistons?
Hell
all right,
yeah.
so let me
Go
go back.
no, go first.
Let me go back to say.
First
say
of all,
this.
Go ahead. Let me go.
Go ahead. I'll let you go first
Because y'all average 87 points a game.
Okay.
So they would outscore y'all.
Numbers.
So if we averaged 87 and was winning, how much the other team average?
86.9. Y'all was barely winning.
Negative.
Y'all was barely winning.
We have an NBA record that will never be broken.
What's that?
When we kept, I think it was either 6 or 7 teams under 70 points in this scoring era.
Yeah, that'll never get broken.
That will never get broken again. We were defense. We hung our hat on defense. We would have beat the shit out of them. And I'm going to address that because Draymond said this
Draymond would
bullshit.
have killed you.
You crazy as
Man,
fuck.
you can't guard Draymond Green.
He said this bullshit the other day on him and Shaq's podcast. We would have beat the shit out of them because, for the simple fact, they couldn't match up with us at any position. Steph's not a defender. He would have had to guard Rip. How many screens Rip coming off of?
Whatever the max you can have in the game.
Or whoever they would have tried to put at point. Whoever their point would have been too little for Chauncey. Right?
They'll put Clay on him. Clay 6'7". You say
Okay,
Clay
so
can't guard Chauncey.
who's going to guard Tay?
Kevin Durant.
Wiggins. KD.
If it's 2017,
Oh,
it's
this
Kevin Durant.
KD.
Yeah.
Not happening. Oh, they all too. They about
You
the
said
same.
KD can't guard Tayshaun, whoever's 9.
No.
Nah, come on now.
Yeah, I'm saying that
And
for
you said
back
Tayshaun
for
can
back
guard
then.
Well, he
KD,
just
whoever's
outscored
30.
him,
Man,
Like-
yes, because Tayshaun was an underrated scorer. See, a lot of people don't know
How you underrated scoring? Your team averaged 86 points.
because he was an underrated scorer. He led the year he was at Kentucky. He led them in scoring. I
No,
think
no,
it was
no,
like
no, no.
26 or something.
That's right.
Everybody could score in college. We all could score in college. I'm talking about in the pros. Y'all averaged
Okay.
86. He averaged 9.
Okay,
So a
and
big
we
game
still
for him
won.
is 12.
So we still won. That's fucking defense. That's what we hanging our shit
No,
on.
no, okay, so-
and then here's the other thing. They're not used to the physicality. Draymond's
Hold on,
too
hold on.
little.
What rules are we playing under? The
It
old
don't
rules or
matter.
the new rules?
It don't matter. It
The
can
new
go.
rules, y'all can't do that.
But here's the thing: the new rules, they can't fuck with us neither because we have more guys with a greater skill set.
They're going to make the ball fine. Bill
Man,
Wallace.
go. All right. Well, you go through the 5. We go through the 5 right now.
Okay,
You
let's go
through
to the
5.
point. So if we got point guards.
Our starting 5 was Chauncey.
Okay, let's go
Rick,
point.
Tay,
So point
me,
guard
and
is
Ben.
Steph and Chauncey. Who better, Steph or Chauncey?
I'm going with Chauncey all day. He gonna put motherfucking Steph in the basket. Steph don't play defense.
Okay, I'm taking.
Yeah, Steph will shoot 40 footers. We'll
Okay.
take that.
I'm taking. You
Next.
taking Chauncey? I'm taking Steph.
I know.
At the 2 guard spot,
Rip
Rip or Clay?
You know why? For the simple fact, Rip is going to do more than shoot motherfucking threes. Rip is going to do more than shoot motherfucking threes.
Well, I think in Golden State they trading 3 for 2, so I'm going to take Clay right there, too.
Okay, you
and
can say that. You can say that.
Small forward, Kevin Durant or Tayshaun Prince. Who you taking?
I'm taking Tay.
He knows ball.
Because Tay hang his hat on motherfucking defense, which I hang my hat on, which that team hung their hat on.
And I know you're a loyal
dude. And we face KD.
And I know you're a loyal dude, so I understand it. I'm still taking KD.
I know.
At the the power forward, Rasheed Wallace or Draymond Green.
That's my young fella. I love him to death. Too fucking little.
You think you better than Draymond Green?
Stop it, Bonzi. Don't do that. Too little.
Depoy Draymond Green.
Too little.
You talking about Saginaw, Michigan?
Too
Draymond Green.
Motherfucking little.
How many you average in that series?
I don't even know.
Defensive player of the year.
Whatever. Too little. Go into the 5.
Okay, so you won that spot. I get that to you. I get that spot to you.
Go to the 5.
So the 5, y'all got Ben Wallace or
Zaza Pachulia. The 2017 Warriors.
Scoring wise, that's a wash, but player wise, we get that to y'all because Ben Wallace. So they got
so that's the 5. Let's go to the bench. We had a
Shawn
bench.
Livingston.
Lindsey Hunter.
Their bench.
I'm taking Shawn Livingston over Lindsey Hunter.
Wrong thing to do. Go ahead.
There have been Patrick McCall, JaVale McGee, Andre Iguodala, Shawn Livingston.
Come on, man. Eagle.
Ian Clark.
Come on, Eagle.
David West.
Who y'all got over Eagle?
Okay, so we had
Matt Barnes was on that team.
We had Mike. We had the Pit Bulls, Mike James, Lindsey
Black
Hunter.
ass Mike James. That's my boy. That's my boy. I got to tell
I think
you.
just Mike James.
I said it to him. No, I said it to him every time I see him. That's my brother right there.
Eldon Campbell.
That's my brother.
We had Mehmet Okor. We had Darko, and we had Big Nasty, Corliss Williamson.
That's my guy too.
Now compare that bench to the bench that was on that team.
But let's just go back to that. Out of all them guys you named, the max y'all can put up is 87 points.
Dog, we were motherfucking playing.
We tell you defense, yeah, but y'all couldn't score at least 100 with all the names you named.
No,
because other teams scoring 61.
Because we didn't shoot a lot of motherfucking threes and shit like they
y'all
do
stalled.
No, we played defense. We gonna make you play defense.
Is it 20 seconds off of the
4
clock?
corners ball.
That's right, because if you are a poor defending team, I'm not just gonna come down and shoot an automatic shot.
I get it. So I feel like those stats are a little bit.
No, I mean we're gonna run you into the fucking ground.
No, y'all gonna stall the ball.
No, we wasn't stalling. We running our offense. We running you through the fucking ground. Cause motherfuckers don't like to play defense for 20 seconds. They like to play defense for 3 or 4 seconds.
I'm taking Golden State over y'all.
I know you will. A lot of people will. You
only bench, you would take Golden State's bench over Detroit.
I'm taking Golden State's whole team over the championship
coaching?
Team. Just because I'm
Larry Brown versus Steve Kerr?
That's not even part of the equation right
she
there.
called LB pound for pound.
That's what I'm saying. That's the advantage for Detroit, right?
That's not even part of the equation.
I ain't going to disrespect pound for pound. I ain't going to disrespect him.
You know, and Steve Kerr, our guy, because we played with him out in Portland.
Steve,
our guy. That's why I
pound for pound
got
too much. He got too much history, man. He been doing this
pound
for
for
time.
pound.
That's so. If y'all got the front court. Bench is. What would you say? Bench is a wash, or
it's
you
a
go
wash.
Goldie?
It's a wash.
It's a wash.
No fucking wash.
And y'all got coaching. Who's the best player in this series?
Steph Curry.
Who's the second best player? Kevin Durant, right?
It's Kevin Durant for sure. It's either Steph or KD. They can go back and forth between KD and Steph.
Y'all keep thinking that KD would have been doing that shit he's doing now, and you know, with all the mid range, that shit wouldn't have been
He got a career
happening.
average of 28.
Hey dog, that shit wouldn't have been.
I ain't talking about he had a good game of 28. For all his
He
years,
had all the good games.
he averaged 28 for his career.
Which is good. That's fucking phenomenal. Right?
So you telling me a person like a Tayshaun Prince ain't tried to guard him during that whole time?
Dog.
Nobody like a Tayshaun Prince has tried to guard him.
We locking that shit down. We playing team defense.
I'm done talking.
Did they have Ben Wallace behind him? Did they have like a Tayshaun and a big
He ain't going to the hole like that, man. He
get
get to a spot.
Put it this way. Let me see.
Can't nobody stop KD getting to a spot. I don't care who it is. You talking about back then?
I want to say probably like, I don't know the exact number, but I can definitely let you know for my time that I was in Detroit and the times that we played the Lakers, and we all know how great of a scorer Kobe is. Kobe never had no big games like that.
Let's wrap the show.
You got enough.
I mean,
Tayshaun guarded.
He's a fucking
blasphemy, man.
He's a hellacious, underrated defender.
What's next, man?
What the fuck? I mean, I gotta call a spade a spade. Dog. And yes, we would have beat the shit out of that 27. It would have been 4-1.
I was gonna say how many games? So
4-1.
Can we move past this? Because it's
4-1.
What do you say that series goes?
4-2 Golden State.
And we would have beat that motherfucking Ball State team too.
I don't know about that. Who guards Bonzi?
Oh, we putting motherfucking Larry Brown on Bonzi. LB used to be a killer defender back in the day.
Feet.
You know what I mean?
I was unstoppable at one time. At Ball State Bonzi, when they let me, man, please. Unstoppable.
No, but real talk, all jokes aside, we would have beat them though. And for me, the way I look at it, it doesn't matter the era because we definitely know they couldn't have hung with us in our era because of the physicality. Then in this era, the way that you can't touch nobody again, I still say our skill set would have made us prevail over them. If we're coming across the lane, if I'm coming across the lane, you're not allowed to hit me or do none of that shit. Oh, it's gonna be a foul. So you're gonna have cats, Draymond and all them cats in foul trouble. I'm gonna let Draymond post up. You are not, first of all, he's gonna get probably like about max maybe 6 or 8 points. All that because Dre's not as good shooter. You're not a good shooter as you thought you were. And I know we had that phone conversation one time and you thought you could outshoot me because you hit a couple of threes when y'all championship run. Fuck out of here, dog. FOH. Nah, we would have beat the shit out of y'all. Real talk. And to me, it don't matter who rules. Y'all rules or our rules. And I'm saying that straight, looking at you and the camera, dog, on everything.
Wow, Air? How you spell that?
Everything?
ER thing.
EAI thing. Everything.
Did a poll in chat, who wins the game 2004 Pistons, 2017 Warriors? 56% say
Warrior.
The 2004 Pistons.
Oh,
win that game. See,
well, we got some old.
See,
that
Chad,
means we got
Chad
some old cats. We got some old cats in the chat. There's some old heads in the chat. They who must have saw us
some
play.
gray beards. Yeah.
Yeah.
56%, 44 for the Warriors. And last question before we get out of here from Rated E for Everyone. Said, this question's for all three of the fellas. I met Magic Johnson back in 2015. He came to my school in East Chicago, Indiana, 219 in the house. He had me,
Indiana boy.
He had me starstruck, and he's a giant. What player had you guys starstruck, if any player or celebrity has ever had that effect on you?
Man, for me, it's funny that he said Magic, because for me, I remember, I'm from Indiana, and I never left my city until I went pro. So I went to elementary, high school, and college in my same city. And I remember I was going through it was my senior year, and I met a few pros, but I met Reggie Miller one time, but I didn't really know a lot of pros. And this was back when Magic was an agent, and people don't really, a lot of people don't know Magic used to be an agent.
After he retired. And
I remember, I was going through my thing my senior year, and my sports information director used to always come to me and be like, hey, you got this many scouts coming to the game, you got this many scouts going to the game. He was just playing with me, but he was serious, but he was just telling me. And I was like, man, what you trying to do, put pressure on me or whatever? And then one day he was like, man, got something big going on, man. He's like, man, I think Magic Johnson was trying to get me, but he was like, I think Magic Johnson's coming to the game. I'm like, Magic Johnson coming to Muncie, Indiana? Like, on purpose? Yeah. I said, Magic ain't even flying over Muncie, Indiana. He's like, no, man, his people just called and said he needed, 4 front row tickets. I like, man, you playing. I'll believe it when I see it. So, I'm layup line. And then, I'm saying, I hear a little commotion. I look back, Magic Johnson is literally walking into the thing, and he gave me that look, and
here to see B Weezy.
Man, I was so shook up. I was just so shook up, I was so starstruck, like, oh my goodness, that's Magic. That's Magic Johnson over there, and the whole arena was just going crazy. It was a crazy buzz, and I put on a show for him. Had about 39, just some crazy number. Almost like triple-double. Something light.
something small.
Something light.
Magic Wells, they call it.
Yeah, it was crazy. He was just on my bumper about signing with him. I didn't sign with him, which was silly, but just to see him and just see how big he was, and like, man, that's 6'9".
That's a point.
That's point guard right there. Like,
yeah.
What am I getting myself into almost? But that was my starstruck moment right there for me early in my career.
Man, first time I got starstruck, and y'all can go and look at this on the internet, is I hooky school that day, but everybody knew, my coach knew I hooky school, and
Bill
my mom
Ellerby
knew.
signed off on that?
Yeah, it signed off. It was a once in a lifetime moment for real, and I definitely understood that day what that saying meant. So, I'm not really sure what's happening or whatever. So, we had just won the city championship. So, I got my little, championship jacket on, thinking I'm doing something. I got my little rayon shirt on, you know what I mean? Buttoned up to the top with the little rayon fake silk. You know what I'm saying? The silk on and everything. Dog. Walked in this one little part of the gym, right before we got in the gym, and who did I see, man? Wilt Chamberlain. Oh, dog, I was cheesing. I'm telling you, talk about the Kool-Aid man smile. Oh, yeah.
Showing all 32.
Like, oh, man, I'm showing all 32 in these joints. Like, yo, I'm like, and like, eyes all big, like, oh, shit, like, this is Wilt Chamberlain. And then the thing about it, standing next to him, and I'm slightly looking up. So I'm like, damn, so like he is a true 7'1", 7'2". I'm like, yo, this is Wilt Chamberlain, the Big Dipper, yo. Yeah. I'm like, seeing him battling Bill Russell so much, and you seeing him coming with the hand and doing all, and then hearing a lot about him through a lot of my old heads in Philly growing up, and how they told me the story on how at the top of the key on the foul line has the semicircle on it now is because of Wilt Chamberlain. So back in the day before that semicircle was there, if he got fouled, you going to the foul line shooting too. Wilt Chamberlain used to run from half court, jump from the foul line, boom, that's one foul shot. Run from half court, jump from the foul line, boom, that's two foul shots. And it's like, that's why they put the arc on that key right there.
Wow. You can't be doing all that, Wilt.
Oh, man, and just knowing like his presence even then, like, man, it was a great buzz in the area. Cause what they were doing was retiring his jersey at Overbrook High School, where he went to school during his younger years. And man, phenomenal athlete. That's when I had to dig into it. Phenomenal athlete. Yeah. He's a hell of a track and field star. And he's one of very, very few athletes who are in both the NCAA and the NCAA Basketball Hall of Fame for two separate sports.
Was it volleyball?
Yep, I didn't know he was a hellacious volleyball player.
I can see Wilt Chamberlain.
I mean, I can see the shit now. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, yo, it's spiking everything. Hey, yo, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, man, it was just, I was fanboy that day, yo. I was fanboy that day. I geeked out, and I got my little cameo haircut. My hair was like this high and shit, and I'm standing next to him, and he was signing something, and he was saying something to me. He was talking to me like, oh, like, yo, you the top man in Philly now, huh? And this and that, and I'm like, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Miss Chamberlain.
Like, man, it was just a great moment. Great moment.
Yeah. I say mine was 2019, the All-Star game in Charlotte. I was there for the retired players. So I had a chance to talk to some of them. They had like a little party that night where everybody was getting in. So it's like All-Stars, it's all NBAs, it's DPOYs, Hall of Fame guys. Everybody standing around, talking trash, drinking a beer, having fun. And then I can't even remember who said it. Somebody came through and was like, hey, Bill Russell's coming. So you see, again, all these Hall of Famers, DPOYs, everybody straightening out their shirt, tucking in their shirt, like cleaning up their jacket, putting their beard down, getting your beard together, all that. And then Bill Russell walked through the door. And I see all these Hall of Famers like doing the thing like regular people do. Like, are they going to walk like by? Is Bill Russell going to walk by me? And he stopped at a couple. He sat down, and me and my man Coley had a chance to sit down and talk with him. And he told us, no line, he said, die before you get too old. and then he laughed that Bill Russell laugh.
Hey,
So yeah, getting to
Bill
hear that
Russell
up,
was funny as shit.
hilarious. I'm gonna say that without kidding. He told us like, die before you get too old.
You're too old.
Then he did that laugh. So like to hear that laugh, to shake his hand, to see the kind of reverence that all these guys have. Everybody standing up straight when Bill Russell walked in. So that's probably
OG.
mine. Yeah.
OG.
Great questions this week. We appreciate everybody for the
Yeah,
questions.
for sure.
Appreciate everybody tapping in this week.
Pull me back down memory lane with some of them questions.
Man, oh man. If you want to join in the NBA action with Underdog and us, sign up and use code SHEED. Underdog will give you up to $250 in bonus cash and a special pick. And as a reminder, you can get audio versions of every episode of Sheed and Tyler on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Nice.
That'll do it for us, boys. For Sheed, for the Bonds, for myself, for Shine on the Bathroom Cam, and Underdog Fantasy. We appreciate y'all. Y'all be safe. Y'all be good. We'll see you next week.
Shout out to my Phillies and shout out to my baby, my mama bear. Oh, my. And I'm glad I did that. You know what I'm saying? So that I can just see